He didn't call for your children to do the role of parent. Good morning, family, and happy Tuesday. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. I'm coming on here today because God showed me two things today. And I said, okay, God, I hear you. I receive it. And I'm going to share it with my family. I'm going to tell you the scenario first before I dive into the message. I was walking the girls to school, Ava and Lariah. And as we approached the gate, there was a little girl crying. So I walked past her because I figured she was crying because her mom had to leave her because it is still semi-new with the back to school. And I looked around and I didn't see the parent. I went on ahead and dropped off Ava, dropped off Lariah. And when I came back, everything in me wanted to just go home. But God had me stop. I spoke to the little girl and I asked her, what's wrong? Do you want your mom? A solution for me was to say, let's go 5 steps and talk to the principal, which is standing by the gate, who couldn't leave her post to ensure that no parents entered the school and that the other kids were entering the campus safely. I said, do you want to go to the principal right here? She could go call your mom in the office. She's like, no, I want my mom. It was a child sitting next to her, a little bit older. So I asked her, I said, do you know her? Do you want to get her hand to see if she'll go with you? She said, yeah, that's my little sister. And then I said, oh, what's wrong with her? And she said, oh, she wants to go to breakfast. But I said, I'm not going to stay with her because I want to go play with my friends on the playground. The little girl ended up confirming it. She said, yeah, I need you to stay with me. I just want mom. And the big sister said, mom said, no, we can't go back home. So I asked the sister, can you stay with her for 2 minutes? And the sister agreed, and she told her little sister, yes, I could stay with her for 2 minutes, and we were able to get her in the campus. I watched them walk through and was waiting for Ava to come back around, and I seen that the little girl, after all, said no, she don't want breakfast. She's going to go play on the playground. Problem solved. I get home, and I'm on the phone with the doctor's office trying to get an appointment for one of my children, and a call come through. I was going to refuse it because I've been trying to get through to them for a long time and they haven't been answering their phone. So I really didn't want to jeopardize missing that call. But something told me to go ahead and answer the call. I answered the call and it was my son, my second born's coach. And when I was listening to him talk, I ended up going upstairs. I don't like talking about my kids without my kids around if they're present. So I went up there so Markel can hear the conversation. And in that conversation, a lot was revealed to me. Just listen to Kel vent. It made me understand how important it is for parents to be more present. To stop putting so much weight on the child. Just because the child is older does not mean they are ready to receive these big responsibilities that are assigned for our role as parents. Going back to the first scenario, if the mom sent the big sister to walk the little sister to school, to become a conscious parent, we must first weigh out every scenario. That includes the dangers that could arise with young children walking home or to school on their own, as well as behaviors and tantrums that can erupt. You have to ask yourself, is your child equipped to handle all those scenarios? If the answer is no, you need to get yourself up and walk your kids to school. If you can't do it, you need to find an adult who can. As I looked at the older child's face, she was in distress. She didn't know what to do. The little sister was having a tantrum. She was at the brink of being able to leave her and just go on campus, but she was tied to her sibling to protect her. As parents, we tell our children, oh, you're the big sister. You got to look out for the little sister. That's not fair. Because who's looking out for the big sister? We cannot, in good conscience, as positive parents, impose these big responsibilities on our little babies. Just think about it. How do you feel when your child have a tantrum in public? What is your response? Because there are some siblings I will drive by and see they have to drag the little siblings to school. Sometimes smacking them, sometimes pushing them down. Because these children have adopted your parenting styles. So we got to be present. We got to be active parents, and we got to be more conscious of what we're doing in our role as parents. I wasn't a conscious parent then. I just needed help. Going back to the second scenario with my son. As he was venting, he said he had to be on his own since 13. Thinking back, I'm like, what was I doing when he was 13? I was working 2 and 3 jobs and going to school. Anthony wasn't in the home yet. He was still away. Most of the responsibility was placed on Kel's shoulders. Kel was responsible for making sure that his younger brothers went to school. He was responsible in making sure that his younger brothers was picked up from school. He was responsible in making sure they was fed their dinner while I was at work. He was responsible for making sure they was in bed by the time I got home from work. My baby boy, a child himself, took on so much. Here he is now, 19, knocking on 20's door, carrying those same traits, those same burdens, those same responsibility he grew to know. He don't know how to stop. He don't know how to sit down. His entire childhood was geared towards helping his mama make sure his siblings were okay. And that wasn't fair to him. I wasn't a conscious parent then. I just needed help. And in needing help, we place so much responsibility on our child and not enough responsibility on the absent parent. That same energy we place into our children to ensure that the other sibling take care of them is the same energy we need to put in that absent parent. We're not made to do it on our own, and we're not made to make our kids do it for us. This poverty mindset that a lot of us blacks have, that mindset that I need to go work, is killing our family dynamic. It's killing our children. It's breaking you down. Because if you are down, who's going to take care of you? And if your child see that no matter what they did on the home front to help you, you still mad and angry. You still taking out everything on them. Because you're overworked. Now your child's overworked. Now the whole house is in an uproar. It's time for us to stop, family. God said he's supposed to provide for us. Why you got to work 2 and 3 jobs? You lost your faith, fam? You don't trust that he can make a way out of no way? You don't trust that you are here for a reason? You don't trust the gifts and talents he instilled in you? He didn't call you to work 2 and 3 jobs. He didn't call for you to be clocked out of your family all day. He didn't call for your children to do the role of parent. God was speaking to me today. He had me turn the flashlight on self. And yes, my older children can help, but this help needs to be age appropriate. A lot comes with parenting. Even more comes with raising healed children. So my promise to me today is to not place any more responsibility on my children than I'm ready for. And if it's too much for me to handle, I'm going to call their father. I love y'all, fam, and I want y'all to take a hard look at y'all parenting. And even if you do have to put your older child in position to fill in for you, you need to make sure they have the tools to do it positively. You need to make sure they haven't adopted those negative parenting styles, those disciplinary actions that you have, that belt, that yelling, that screaming, that whooping. You need to make sure they are doing it positively. They know how to compose themselves, possess the emotional regulation needed to navigate any challenge that arises. Yes, Lord, I hear you. And we gonna do better together. There you go, that smile. You feel better? A little bit. I'm gonna go put some ice in it for you. Clean it and put some ice. All right. We may not be able to change the past, but we can ensure our today is filled with intention, growth, and love, setting the foundation for a brighter tomorrow.
What'd you say?
I said, who was in there cooking?